What's up, Brick Squad? Welcome back to another episode of Building Anaxes in LEGO. Today we have week 7, I believe, and we are basically following the progress from last week. If you guys remember, in week 6 of Building Anaxes, we got the gunship done. I did a showcase on that a little bit. Of course, a review of that gunship is coming actually this week, probably around Thursday or Friday, so stay tuned for that. But today we're basically continuing the progress, staying within the realm of the gunship with Anaxes, and actually got some pretty good progress on one of the landing pads. We got it completely done, so of course that's going to be the topic for today. Before we go ahead and get anywhere further in today's video, I want to give a huge thank you to our 2 series sponsors in no particular order. Number 1, we have Brick Stuff. You guys know Rob makes incredible third-party custom lights, which you guys will actually see in today's video. So of course, use coupon code TBW10, capital T, capital B, capital W, 10 in your checkout at brickstuff.com to save some money. And then our second sponsor, we have Minifigs for You. You all know David Hall, Solid Brick Studios company, has graciously supplied Bad Batch, which you guys will obviously see in the finale of the series. So go ahead and check out all of our sponsors down below in the description. Now, of course, I do want to give also a huge thank you to the people who have donated this week on the Anaxes live streams. All their names will be down below in the description, so huge thank you to you guys who literally make it easier for me to fund the project and really just do as much as I possibly can for it. So again, a huge thank you to you guys. So like I said, today we're going to be focusing on the landing pad, which you can see a little bit right over there. It's actually my first time using this snot technique and also integrating other techniques like the yellow plates and white plates, stuff like that, which we will get into today's segment. Now, a quick little, not really announcement, but update. I've actually started working again. I haven't had an official job since earlier this year in January. I basically took off time to work on school, but I really haven't had a job up until now. I've started working a couple of days ago, so just to let you guys know, it's not going to severely impact anything. I'm still going to be able to shell out weekly videos, weekly updates. It just might be a little bit less. Obviously, I'm trying to get as many hours in to get more money to put in towards the mock, so that is the end goal, but that's also just to give you guys a quick update. I did promise you guys I would be building the ATTE this week. Unfortunately, a lot of the Bricklink orders that I got were missing a couple of pieces and really important ones, so I decided to delay it. All the parts, actually, I have them on my bed. Almost all the parts that I was missing are now in, so next week we're going to be streaming at least twice, building the walker. It's going to be super fun. Again, check out David Buchholz. He is the designer, and huge thank you to Brick Vault for that. But again, that's going to be next week's idea, next week's topic, not this week. This week we are talking about the gunship, the landing pad, and all the cool lights that I have added. So we really have an action-packed segment in for you guys today. Of course, drop a like down below. Let's try to get over like 100 likes on this video. I know we can do it. And if you guys are brand new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could consider subscribing. I think you guys are going to want to stay up to date with all these weekly segments and live streams that I do. So let's go ahead and head to a time lapse of my time on the live streams building this landing pad right now. So right here is some footage from me actually doing live streams. If you guys did not know, I basically live stream once or twice a week here on this channel on YouTube. So make sure you guys click that bell icon and subscribe to stay up to date with those. I spent probably about maybe 5 hours total, about 2 hours-ish on stream on Thursday night, about 1 hour off stream, and then 2 hours about, again, Friday earlier in the morning streaming. So I spent a considerable amount of time on this. Like I said before in the intro to today's video, this is my first time working with snot technique where we're integrating some sort of pattern, so it was definitely a learning curve, I guess, if that makes sense. People who actually join the streams will probably remember a couple of these trial and errors, including like that makeshift H that I wanted to do or something like that, but regardless, I think it came out amazing. Again, it's my first time fooling around with techniques involving snot. Now, I did draw a lot of inspiration from Googling basically just Star Wars landing pads and actual real-life landing pads, helipads, stuff like that, trying to get some ideas, but I ultimately reverted back to the Anaxes screenshot, which you guys will see in a little bit, trying to stay as accurate as I possibly can to what was actually built on Anaxes in the Clone Wars season, trying to stay realistic. So again, these streams are super fun. I really hope you got... So again, these streams are super fun. They're probably one of the most fun parts of doing YouTube, and of course I get to meet you guys, and more importantly, you get to see the progress early before these videos come out. So again, make sure you guys stay tuned for those. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the actual physical progress and talk about what we got done today. Alrighty, so here is the actual landing pad, and it might look a little small, but don't worry, it's actually a pretty sizable land pad. Now, before I actually got into all the details and all of the sort of intricate design stuff that we did for the landing pad, I basically wanted to give you guys an overview as to where this would most likely be. Now, of course, here we have the front entrance to Anaxes. Obviously, the goal, right, is to have this road going pretty much straight shot all the way back there. Of course, have the walker and troops and all that stuff. So here we have the front entrance. Again, you can imagine that walkway keep basically going straight, and then literally it's going to hit here. So the walkway is going to keep going somewhere around there. So right here is where we're going to have the landing pad. Now, the only thing that might change in terms of location, this might be moved up slightly, maybe like 4, 5, 6 bricks or 6 studs that way, because it is a little too close to the wall right now. Of course, I still have to figure out in terms of like the exact lineup from where this road's going to be and stuff like that, because this is going to be something I'll talk about in a little bit. But again, first off, I wanted to start off showing you guys this in terms of where the location is. Again, this is going to be roughly around where that other corner wall is, basically the same exact thing as this, going throughout the entire way. And then of course we do have the gunship landing pad here. So hopefully that gives you a better idea as to where this is planning to be. Again, this mock's pretty big. The gunship definitely takes up a lot of room, but again, the idea for the landing pad over there was to make it sort of a little bit discreet and also not too large as to take up too much room. But with that being said, let's actually go ahead and talk a little bit about this landing pad. I'll turn this base plate around just to give you guys a better look as to what it looks like. So just before we get started, I will let you guys know that there are lights. Obviously, this stuff is very, I guess, in the very first design phase. Obviously, the lights and wires will be hidden a little bit better, so I'll get into that in a little bit. But first off, I want to show you guys what exactly the landing pad is. So the first sort of aspect to discuss is actually going to be this area right here. Now, this right here is actually a screenshot from the Clone Wars Season 7 trailer that overviews pretty much all of Anaxes, and you can see there is a couple of yellow lines that basically go from the beginning of the front gate all the way towards the back. And that's what this is going to be. Now, I do want to give a huge thank you and a huge shout to my man Jalen, Rich Boy J, for helping me out with this design. This is in no way means final. I'm still missing a couple of yellow tiles and more yellow plates and stuff like that, so there's still a lot to be done. Basically, this section right here is actually going to be completely different from the landing pad. So this is the landing pad right here, obviously covering the gunship, and then this guy right here is actually going to be along the road. So there's going to be a couple of instances where I'm going to actually have to go back in and tweak the road a bit. Basically, the idea is to have this design running throughout the entire side of it. So it's basically probably going to start around here and basically going straight shoot right into the base mountain. So there's going to be a lot of reworking for this specific area right here. Obviously, like I said, I'm going to have to be expanding this road, probably making it wider for the ATTE, and then adding this design. Now, I have ordered a couple of parts. In fact, my buddy Noah, H2 Brick, will be picking up some parts for me. There was a store overseas that had the slopes for a pretty good price, so I had it shipped to Noah, and then he'll be bringing it to Brick Fair, Virginia. So we won't probably be revisiting this area or this like snot section for quite a bit, but nonetheless, this is what I wanted to give you guys an idea of. So again, if you guys can imagine this pattern going basically in the side of this area, probably a little bit more like there, and then obviously extending it this way a little bit more. But that's in terms of that specific aspect. Now, moving on to the gunship and to the platform here, obviously it looks a little packed, it looks a little small, but I guarantee you it's actually a pretty sizable landing pad that we have actually created. So first things first, I'll actually turn on all the lights just to give you guys a little bit of an idea as to what we're working with. I'll actually turn off my studio light here just to give you guys a little bit of a better idea. Nothing too crazy. Again, the lights are subject to change. We have a couple of the Lego battery lights, and then we have this guy right here, which is actually one of the spotlights. This product is actually from Brick Stuff. If you guys want to go ahead and check them out, they are, again, the sponsor of this series. Definitely go check out their stuff. Some amazing details. So getting an overhead shot, we have a couple of lights. Obviously, it works better when there's no sun out, so you guys will definitely get a chance to see that a little better probably sometime later in the build series. But again, we have 2 spotlights here on top of this radio tower, and then on each corner of the actual landing pad, we have 1x1 trans clear cylinders with some Lego lights going inside of them, and I think they came out really, really nice. There's a perfect amount of light. Maybe add some more, obviously, towards the later end of the actual build series, but for now, I think it actually turned out really great, so I'll go ahead and turn those off. Now, again, the battery pack and everything will be hidden fine. You won't be able to see it when the end product comes out. The plan is to actually build like mini sheds, if that makes sense for these guys. So basically, it's going to be a small building here and a small shed here. That's basically going to be housing all the batteries and stuff like that. So that is the plan as far as the lights go. I'll turn on my light again, and we can talk a little bit about the activity going on this platform. You guys can see there's so much stuff going on. Obviously, we have a whole trooper battalion or squad of Phase 2 clone troopers going onto the gunship. We have Anakin talking with one of the officers. We have 3 of the Phase 2 troopers doing their routine patrol, making sure everything's alright. Then over here we have a little bit of a command and control center here with some levers, some pads, stuff like that, a box with some rifles. And then on this side here, like I said before, we have a little bit of a makeshift radio tower. This definitely is subject to change, but for something I kind of threw together in a couple of minutes for this segment, I think it came out really nice. And then of course we have 2 more guards over there. So overall, the activity, this is probably what's going to be going on as the end product. Again, if you guys weren't aware, basically the idea behind the activity of the mock, there's no battle that I'm displaying. So basically it's going to be the entire battalion of troops and walkers mobilizing. So we'll have all the walkers and probably about maybe 150 troops on the main road just walking outside, just pretty much walking outside, and then we'll have all the troopers getting ready in their gunships and stuff like that. So as far as activity goes, this is what it's going to be like. I hope you guys really enjoy this. I spent a lot of time working on this, making the scene like I would like it to be in the finale, so of course let me know. Now for this next part, of course, I want to show you guys all the detail that we have in here, so I'm going to have to move the gunship a little bit. Again, that gunship is fantastic. If you guys didn't check out last week's segment when I actually talked about that gunship, make sure you go check that out. I'll leave a link down below. Now with all the stuff out of the way, you can finally see what this landing pad looks like. I apologize for the glare, but I want natural light to come in here, so I think you guys will be okay. So in terms of the actual landing pad, there's a slight inconsistency with my mock, and that's just because I don't have, you know, the dream set up here. I don't have, like, you know, a million tables to work with, so there actually isn't a square landing pad. It's actually basically on the side of the road, and just with the size that I have to work with, that wasn't something I was going to be able to capture. So I wanted to obviously maintain a certain level of accuracy, but also wanted to do my own stuff and make it my own mock, hence my own creation. So one of the things that is actually very realistic and very relevant to the actual Anaxes fort are going to be these white lines right here. I'll put a screenshot again on your screen right now. You can see these little white lines around the landing pads where the gunships are. That's what I tried to replicate here, just basically using 1x2 plates and a couple of 1x4 bricks to give it that cool aesthetic. Obviously everything is evened up and stuff like that, so I think that came out really awesome. I'm actually really happy with how that came out. This is my first time trying to do some like extensive detailing with the actual Snot platform. Obviously I did the 1x4 plates over there, or 1x4 bricks over there to give it that like road look, but this is the first time doing anything like this. And then the other details, we added a yellow stripe on both the front and the end of the actual platform itself. Again, just some 1x2 yellow plates just to give it a cooler aesthetic. And then the only other details included here are going to be 2 stripes on either side. Both are stacks of 1x2 light bluish gray plate. These are 2 stacks, so not quite a brick in thickness. But again, I think it gave it a really cool aesthetic. And then again, the idea is obviously the gunship would be flying in, and it would use this sort of line here to drop off so you could see where the gate is and line up perfectly with that. So that was the idea that I had with the gunship and with that in terms of a relation to the landing pad. Now, another really cool thing about this is obviously it is Snot. Now, there are a couple of sections that come off, so of course I do want to let you guys know what that is, so I'll go ahead and take everything off before I do so. And I actually can't take this part off because actually all the wires are looped through here, so I'm gonna not take that off entirely, but I will take it off to show you guys. So I actually won't take this section off entirely, but I can still definitely show you guys. So over here, I'll unloose these guys. Basically, it's just 4 different panels here. We have one, you can see the back side is just pretty much empty filler, and then obviously the side is the same exact thing. It just comes up. I won't move it because the wires are in there now. But again, if I want to take these guys off of here, all this section does, it lift apart. Again, you can see how I wired all the lights and stuff like that through the sections of the actual platform. So it's really, really easy to transport, so I could like stack these guys up. Eventually, when I go to Chicago and Virginia with this guy, it should be a pretty smooth transition. Obviously, all the plates come off, and then when I'm ready, I could just literally slide this guy back in here, and then we're good to go. So making this modular, making it easy to transport is definitely one of the biggest things about this mock, obviously because I have huge plans. So really, this is what we got done this week, and this was probably about maybe a 5 or 6 hour project getting everything ready here. Again, I've started working another job again, so I will not have too much time, or maybe not like as much as I have before, but overall I'm really happy with how this came out. I'll move this a little just to give you guys some more angles, but I'm really, really thrilled with how this landing pad came out. I think for my first landing pad, it really, really looks great. Of course, if you guys have any suggestions, anything like that, go ahead and drop them down below in the comments section as to anything I can improve upon. I will be adding some more lights and different things like that for this area. But in terms of progress, physical progress this week, we got the landing pad, and obviously this is going to be a great thing for us. I think it came out amazing. Of course, drop a like down below if you guys think the same. And I think that's basically all I have for this portion of this week's segment. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump to the outro of today's video. Alrighty guys, that's going to wrap up building Anaxes in LEGO week number 7. I hope you all enjoyed. Guys, I am absolutely in love with this landing pad. Just to reiterate, there will be 2 landing pads. I am planning on doing 3 gunships, which might be a little overkill, but again, that's all subject to change. But I'm really happy with all the lights, pretty much everything, like the activities going on with all the minifigures walking on board and stuff like that, the control panels, everything came out really awesome. I'm really happy about it. So of course, if you guys do like the actual landing pad that we built this week, drop a like down below. And if you think I should add something new or take something away, of course guys, I love hearing your constructive feedback, so put that down below in the comments. So now with week 7 almost in the books, where are we in terms of the overall progress? It's been 7 weeks, and honestly, the progress is good, in my opinion. I think we built a gunship last week. We got one of the landing pads done, and we have the whole front, pretty much wall section, almost done. And I think we're at a pretty steady pace. Right now, I'm aiming for the mock to be finished around late November or early December, maybe even Christmas Day. I think maybe like a finale Christmas Day would be really something special. But I'm not really putting any sort of restrictive time schedule on the mock. I'm really just taking my time, making sure I am doing everything I want it to be, because Anaxes is going to be, this mock is going to be the best mock I've ever made, without a doubt. So it's going to be super fun. Now, in terms of the future weeks coming up, week 8, 9, 10, you guys know Brick Fair Virginia is in like 3 weeks from now, so I'm going to obviously not be home or anywhere to actually get a segment out for that. So I'm obviously going to skip that. I think that date is August 3rd or August 4th. So that weekend, obviously, there will be no Anaxes update. I'll try and do some live streams from Brick Fair, but we'll talk about that later. But as far as the next couple of segments go, we have the ATTE next week. That's going to be a really fun time. Again, subscribe and click post notifications. That way you guys can join those live streams. We also should have parts for the ATR teams, which I'm not sure if that warrants an entire segment devoted to it. It'll probably just be like maybe a little side update or something like that. We are actually at a great pace right now, so I'm very happy with where we are. And of course, I hope you guys are. And of course, I hope you guys are too. So with all that being said, thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.